This is something that's going to absolutely destroy Florida in 2025, and if we're not careful, this might be something we can't recover from for the next decade. The signs are everywhere. Rising costs, a bad economy, and decisions that are leaving Florida homeowners, investors, and renters in a tough spot. People are starting to wake up to the fact that this isn't just a small problem, it's a ticking time bomb. The issue? Houses aren't selling in Florida. I did some digging to figure out exactly why this is happening, and what I found might surprise you. Let's jump in. The first issue is supply. Florida's seeing more homes on the market than it has in its last 5 years. These homes just aren't selling, so that means the days on market are piling up. As of October 2024, the median days on market for Florida homes was 67 days. That's 23 days longer than the same time last year. For comparison, the national median of days on market is 58 days. In my neighborhood, there's a lot of landlords that bought houses 20 years ago for around $40,000, and they stuck tenants in there for low rent and just didn't make any repairs. So these houses are in rough shape. But now those houses are worth $300,000, so they're looking to cash out. Since they're in such bad shape and they're asking top dollar, these houses are just sitting and they're clogging up the market. Rising costs of maintenance, HOA fees, and property taxes are pushing people to sell too. All these expenses are getting out of control in Florida. The average cost of homeowners insurance in Florida is $10,996. That's 5 times the national average. Not to mention, insurance companies are leaving the state. Some of them even went out of business. And Citizens Insurance, a state-backed insurance company, which is one of the biggest insurers in Florida, is dropping thousands of policies. Homeowners insurance is the second biggest issue. And we just got hit with 2 major hurricanes, and a lot of those insurance claims are being denied. Number 3 is hurricanes. Back-to-back storms, Helene and Milton, have scared off buyers down here, and I don't blame them. And all those people that were looking to live close to the water don't want anything to do with flood zones. And a lot of these homes down here where I'm currently at need costly repairs, and permitting delays with the city are slowing this reconstruction. And a lot of buyers altogether are scared of the increasing intensity of these hurricanes and just want to avoid Florida altogether. The fourth issue is condos. New safety and inspection regulations following the Surfside condo tragedy are making condo ownership more expensive. Condo buildings are now required to undergo structural inspections to identify any defects. And the owners are getting hit with hefty assessments to cover their share of the repair costs. HOA fees for condos are going through the roof too. Think about this. People bought a condo and moved down here 20 years ago to retire. They didn't expect these HOA fees to spike like they have today. The average monthly fee is $240, but some of them can go as high as $1,200 a month. And many owners are hesitant to take on that financial risk that goes along with buying a condo in an older building. The fifth reason homes are not selling in Florida, and you knew this one was coming, it's interest rates. Mortgage rates are hovering around 6.5 right now, and that makes monthly payments unaffordable for a lot of buyers. At 6.5%, the principal and interest payments with 5% down on a $600,000 home is over $3,600, almost $900 more a month than at a 4% rate. If you can't afford that extra $900 a month, and few can, that can price you out of better neighborhoods and better school districts, and you won't be able to enjoy views like this. So there's a lot of buyers right now that don't want to settle, and I don't blame them. They're waiting on the sidelines for better rates so they can upgrade into bigger and better homes. The sixth reason these homes just aren't selling is the economy. Inflation's driving up the cost of living, leaving less money for new buyers to spend on homes. I don't care what the news has recently said about inflation coming down. We've all seen it in the supermarket. The price of food alone has skyrocketed. But a bad economy also means layoffs, and that's putting fear in a lot of people because they're uncertain about the future of their jobs. And when you're uncertain if you're going to be able to pay the bills, you're definitely not going to be looking to buy a house. Florida also gets a lot of out-of-state investors buying houses down here, but with this bad economy, there's a lot of people that have pulled out and want to see what the market's going to do. Back in 2008, the market crashed and houses went on sale. and a lot of people were scared to buy, but there were some savvy investors that bought up a lot of those properties. People back then were afraid, and they didn't know that the housing market was going to rebound like it did. But here's the truth, you're not going to see those kinds of deals again, because if the market did dip like that again, investors are going to gobble those houses up just like they did in 2008, which would shoot the prices right back up. And even though the Florida housing market's in trouble and inventory is backing up, there's large corporations like Blackstone that are currently buying up single-family homes in Clearwater today. Warren Buffett said it best, "Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy only when others are fearful." Right now, this is a strong buyer's market, and it's going to stay that way well into 2025. If you're sitting on the sidelines waiting, you're going to miss out on some great deals. Sellers are feeling the heat because their homes are sitting on the market, and the only way to bring more action to the house is to reduce the asking price. This is when buyers can negotiate and win big. I actually bought my house in March of 2024 at the absolute top of the market. And guess what? 2 weeks after I closed, the bottom fell out and prices started dropping. You can't time the market, but that's okay. I'm not worried about it because we're keeping this home for the next 10 years. Markets go up and down, but this is still real estate in paradise, so it's gonna bounce back. If you don't have to sell right now, hold on, especially if you got an interest rate in the 3% area. That's gold. If I was looking to buy a home in Florida right now, here's the top 5 things I would do. I'd have my realtor put me on a 15 days on market search. After 15 days, sellers are starting to panic because days on market are getting high. And they're gonna start thinking, oh no, this is gonna look like a bad house to a buyer. So right about the 15-day mark, they're thinking of doing a price reduction. That's when I'd look at the house, make an offer, and hopefully negotiate before they do that reduction and stir up more interest in the property. If I was looking to buy an investment property like an Airbnb, I'd get super dialed in on my numbers and I would know the law where I'm buying. For example, St. Petersburg, Florida has a 30-day minimum. They don't allow short-term rentals, but they do allow 3 exceptions per year. And if that increases my vacancy rate too high or I just can't get my numbers to work, then I'm not gonna buy in St. Petersburg. And if I was looking to buy a condo, I would only work with a realtor who sold a massive amount of condos. There's so much to know in that market, you definitely need a professional. I'd also stay out of flood zones or evacuation zones, and I'd try to buy a block or concrete home if I could. Now, my house is stick-built or built with wood 2x4s, and we couldn't find a block home when we were looking because the market was absolutely on fire. So there's gonna be some exceptions to this rule, and sometimes you just gotta settle for what you can. The 5th thing I'd do is I'd hire a great home inspector, and I wouldn't be afraid to negotiate on price. A good realtor should be able to help you with this. I got a great inspector that I used in Pinellas County that I loved, and they also work in surrounding counties, so hit me up in the comments below if you need a recommendation. And always, always get your main sewer line cameraed and let the inspector know that you want a copy of the video. If there's something wrong with that sewer line, you want to be able to share that video with the seller so you can negotiate together on those repairs. Want to know where some of the best deals on property are in Florida? You got to check out these cities that are getting hit the hardest right now. In the next video, I break down the top 12 real estate markets crashing and how you can take advantage of it. I'll see you there.